Military personnel in Boko municipality engage youth organizations and representatives of two factions in the peace drive. The NDC 2024 flag bearer John Dramani Mahama pleads with traditional leaders to help Ghana overcome its current moral and economic difficulties. Anglican Bishop of the whole diocese, Right Reverend Matthias Baduhu, wants the administrative component of education reinstated to mission schools. And on the international front, West African leaders give military junta in Niger 1 week to cede power, whilst not ruling out the use of force. Details of these stories and more coming up shortly. Please do stay with us. In our first story, military personnel stationed in Boko municipality have broadened their peace campaign beyond senior high schools to include youth organizations and representatives of the two factions in the Upper East region. Now, the military's peace effort is targeting all locations, including markets, churches, and mosques.
The Task Force Commanding Officer, Colonel Inchi Iwadankwa, is leading the charge in ensuring lasting peace in the Boko municipality. The meeting assembled youth groups and representatives from both sides of the conflict who were educated on conflict and its impact on human life. Colonel Inchi Iwadankwa pleaded with the representatives to tell the youth to put down their weapons to ensure that Boko could once again experience peace.
Because we cannot sit for Boko to go out of order. We cannot allow darkness to prevail. Light must prevail. And the Ghana forces have been tasked with all their assets to make sure that life and light prevails in Boko.
The commanding officer also appealed to the elders of Boko to guide the youth and prepare them to embrace peace and work together.
We know the indicators. Market areas are not functioning. Free transport movement is not available. Schools are not working the way it should be. Students are moving around with fear and panic. There are a lot of disorders in the system, and that is what we need to correct.
He praised both factions for sharing their experiences.
We need to bring back that peace. That freedom has to prevail. Freedom everywhere in Ghana, Boko, wherever. As much as we have differences, that freedom and liberty must exist for everybody. We don't want to cause fear and panic. They must know why we are here. We are here to give them peace. So they must understand us. They shouldn't be afraid. They should have confidence and they should trust that we will do it.
Some participants have been sharing their thoughts on the military approach.
If two people are having issues and they are not talking, there will never be a solution. No. I have concluded that the whole country has forsaken us. We don't see an initiation of what has happened today. Looking around here, we are not the ambushers. We are not those who are doing all the bad things. And likewise, they are youth leaders. But through us, the solution will come.
The conflict has led to the loss of many lives, the destruction of properties, and stalled socio-economic development in the area.
Let's stay in Boko now. Security analyst Dr. Adam Bona has lauded the Ghana Armed Forces on peacekeeping duties in Boko for using dialogue to persuade the feuding factions as part of measures to find lasting solutions to the age-old conflict. He says the old strategy of using aggression in dealing with the conflict is no longer viable, asking for support to help the soldiers.
This is one of the approaches. If you ask a military officer who has been involved in peacekeeping, you would get to know that Ghana has been touted as one of the best when it comes to using the non-violent approach to bringing about peace. And some of us have been calling for a non-violent approach to bringing about peace in Boko. And I must congratulate the military for trying to use a non-violent approach. It has never worked in any country. And so the non-violent approach has always been the best when it comes to violent confrontation such as this. And it is more permanent, even though very difficult. So let's congratulate our security officials, i.e. the military, for using the non-violent approach in dealing with Boko. That helps in winning the souls, the minds, and the hearts of the people so that the unnecessary killing and shooting will stop in Boko. But it needs a lot of tact, a lot of resources. When I say resources, sending more men and giving them money and other accoutrement to be able to do that. Because doing this, it's more difficult than sending armor tanks and jet fighters, which has never been the way forward. But sending them to classroom to teach, military nurses who can work as, or police nurses who can work as health officials to go and interact and probably provide health care. It is the alternative way of peace building, which I think that we should have done long ago. I think that sustaining it will require a holistic resource, both human and material, to help this good initiative to be sustainable.
Now, away from Boko, the NDC 2024 flag bearer John Dramani Mahama has pleaded with traditional leaders to help Ghana overcome its current moral and economic difficulties. Signing a book of condolence in memory of the late Gamanya in Accra, the former president noted that if the people spoke with one voice, it would be easier to find answers to the many problems.
The Gamanya Nadede Omaidro III, known in private life as Nadede Abla, passed on December 26, 2022 at the age of 88. She ascended the throne in 1963 when she was 29. She was credited with championing important issues crucial to peace, education, and opportunities for young people, especially the girl child. The 2024 NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama eulogized the late Nadede Omaidro III and appealed to traditional authorities to let her values lead the way in the country's struggle for liberation.
I did not interact with her personally, but from the stories I've heard about her, she's a person who was very well respected, a unifier. She brought people together. And for such a person, we don't mourn her passing, we celebrate her life. And so I believe that this funeral is a celebration of the life that she lived, and to make sure that her legacy stays beyond her and that we all learn from what she has been. Ghana today needs attributes of a person like her, because our nation is a nation that is very divided, and we need unity to bring all of us together to work towards the same objective of making our country a better place.
Earlier, former Speaker of Parliament Professor Aaron Michael Quay expressed his condolences to the family.
There is a need for unity among our various groups of people. There is a need for unity among all those who are qualified to be chiefs, because not only one person can be a chief at any given time. But at any time, there are other qualified people. It doesn't mean we can all be chiefs and sit on that one stool, 4 or 5 people. And that's all that I'm praying.
Gamanche Nita Kiteko True II urged governments to give the Ga people their due respect.
On to some more stories. The Anglican Bishop of Ho Diocese, Right Reverend Matthias Baduhu, has urged the government to reinstate the administrative component of education in mission schools. Now, his call follows recent instances of bullying and acts of indiscipline in some senior high schools.
Student indiscipline and moral decadence appear to be major concerns in educational institutions across the country. 3 reported incidents at Adisadel College, Boko Technical Institute and Laboni Senior High School have brought the debate back into the spotlight. For the Anglican Bishop of Ho Diocese, Right Reverend Matthias Medadius Beduhu, the government's decision to take over school management from religious organizations is a major factor in the current state of affairs in schools.
Because the morality now in our schools is just becoming something we cannot even talk about. Imagine what happened at Adisada College, which was a college established to train priests, children of priests, a grammar school, but now open to the public, is taken away from us.
In his view, religious bodies ensured the comprehensive upbringing of children to enable them to become responsible citizens.
Now that cruel discipline we all saw on the television, the moral discipline of our children in the schools. We want the school back so that the discipline, the moral discipline, can be inculcated in our children. So the way forward is give us the school, the managerial aspect. The rest you take it. We are all stakeholders. And then let us bring back the discipline.
His position was endorsed by Dr. George Apeti, a former principal of Ho Polytechnic, now Ho Technical University.
Government has also agreed that they can give the management aspects of the schools to the missions, which means that heads of the institutions will be appointed from within the churches. And this will promote a lot of discipline. The trouble really is that government lacks the political will to do what they want to do.
I think that call is an objective call in all respects. It serves all of us good. And I share so much in that principle. I share so much in that principle on many grounds. Politically, in terms of governance, and I know that government is making all efforts towards that.
The paramount chief of the Akpini traditional area, Ukpekpe Wokpe, Dagadu, called for a concerted effort to help restore morality at all levels.
Not so long ago, churches will pray, fast, keep awake for extended periods in order to get their leaders. What happens today? We vote. We take a critical look at the politicking within the church when we are doing things to each other because we want certain positions.
Let's head to the north now. And on Thursday, July 27, Parliament passed the Criminal Amendment Bill 2022 to criminalize witchcraft accusations and practices. In the northern regions where issues of witchcraft accusations are rife, Christopher Amwako has been gauging the mood of residents and civil society groups on the passage of the bill.
The Criminal Amendment Bill 2022 criminalizes the declaration, accusation, naming, or labeling of another person as a witch in Ghana. The object of the bill is to amend the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, to prohibit the practice by any person as a witch doctor or a witch finder. The private members' bill was sponsored by NDC MP for Medina, Francis Xavier Susu, and 4 others.
By the passing of this law, also means that all witch camps stand proscribed. In other words, they are all illegal.
A non-governmental organization, Songtaba, has over the years been championing the cause to have the practice banned.
We are so excited. I mean, this has been a long, sustained advocacy work that has paid. We have been calling for the anti-witchcraft bill for a very long time. We've been doing so much work sensitizing communities and making sure that we encourage reportage around issues on witchcraft and stop this trial by ordeal.
She called for the effective implementation of the bill.
We need everybody to be on board to support in the implementation of this bill, especially also around reintegration, which for me is a key strategy towards the disbandments of the alleged witches camp.
Witchcraft accusations in northern Ghana have left activists and many families helpless. These women are forced to leave their homes because of harassment, threats, and fear for their own safety. Between 2020 and May 2023, about 4 people, comprising 3 females and a male, have been lynched, with several others banished over witchcraft accusations in the northern and savannah regions. For residents, the passage of the bill will protect victims of witchcraft accusations.
This will help reduce people pointing fingers at others as they are witches. We are happy they passed the bill.
Some other family members who think that they are not progressing, what they want to achieve, when they are not achieving it, they tend to accuse the older woman that is just around them.
Well, the passage of the bill is one step in the journey. The commitment of law enforcement agencies and stakeholders to ensuring full implementation is key. Steps should be taken to disband the Ngani, Kuko, and Gambaga alleged witch camps and reintegrate the inmates. Until then, the amendment bill will keep marking time. Christopher Mwako, TV3 News.
Now away from the north, some 28 settlements along the Kalapa Wildlife Reserve in the Volta region are crying foul over lack of development. Residents of the mainly agricultural communities claim it is not their fault that the state is unable to relocate them away from the reserve.
Prior to the establishment of the Kalapa Wildlife Reserve, there were around 28 settlements with a combined population of 2,000 people in the 4 districts: Adaklu, Ho West, North and Central Tong. These residents, who have lived there for more than 5 decades, are without access to essential services like water, electricity, education and healthcare. Road construction is another major challenge for these communities because the government's decision at the time was that it would be a waste of resources since those communities were going to be relocated. The assembly member for the Aputia Agove electoral area, Jonathan Ali Bedi, addressed the many difficulties facing residents in the area.
If the river should continue falling in about 2 to 3 weeks, there's no school for them. Even I thought those who didn't know how to swim, they stay at home without any learning in the school. You can see market women together with them. They are concerned to go into Pacific market on Mondays. And this river, when it's flooded, they can't find their loads to cross the river to Pacific market.
One of the affected communities is Agotive and its satellite villages. The community is always cut off from the rest of the Volta region during the rainy season because the bridge project on the river has been abandoned. Collins Aziedu is a unit committee member of the Agotive electoral area.
We don't have a good road. We have a bush road, like a farm road, where we normally use to trek to nearby villages for market facility.
The Agotive DA Basic, which was established by the EP Church in the early 1930s, is the only basic school in the area. The school was handed over to the government in 1984 until a TV3 News report exposed the school's poor infrastructure in 2021. The school had not undergone any infrastructural improvement.
That's why we are saying this year that if they do not do anything concerning our road and our bridges, we will not vote because we don't want to be voting for them, to be feeding them. We are hungry here.
The assistant headmaster of the school, Ishmael Hlovonyevi, was delighted over the intervention.
It's only the last time that TV3 came here and then interviewed us, and persons of promise were able to come here and then provide 3-unit block with store and then an office. So we also need the light so that at least we can read something in the house before coming to work, the school to teach.
Members of these communities want the government to stop depriving them because of the game reserve, which is even struggling to attain its purpose.
Now, on the international front, West African leaders have given the military junta in Niger 1 week to cede power. The bloc said in a statement that if their demands are not met within 1 week, ECOWAS will take all measures necessary to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger. The chiefs of defense staff of ECOWAS are to meet immediately after the summit in Abuja, Nigeria. And the 15-nation economic community of West African states also demanded the immediate release and reinstatement of elected President Mohamed Bazoum, who has been held by military since Wednesday. ECOWAS also announced that the suspension of all commercial and financial transactions between member states and Niger, as well as halting energy transactions. It said it was freezing Niger's assets in ECOWAS central and commercial banks and imposing a travel ban and asset freeze for the military officials involved in the coup attempt. And that's all for the 6 a.m. news here on TV3. My name is Judith Awache Tando. But of course, Roland and Bella are with me in the studio with the rest of New Day. Good morning.
And good morning. How are you?
We're twinning. I'm fine, and you?
Lady in red.
Yeah.
You're also in red too.
Yeah, actually.
We're all in red.
Is
Roland just
plan?
moved a bit into pink.
Budget review or something. What's going on? What's going on? But good to see you this morning. And you as well, Roland.
Yeah, good to see you.
How
too.
you doing?
I'm well.
You have a different haircut, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I trimmed it down.
Okay.
I